Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn Gaming. Paul speaking. Welcome to a look at a new Nintendo Switch game that came out recently on the eShop. This is Space Scavenger from Red Cabin Games. We'll set you back £11.69 and $12.99. This is a roguelike, procedurally generated roguelike space game. Really cool mechanic, and it reminds me of a board game called Galaxy Trucker. I don't know if anybody's ever played that, but look it up. It's a really good board game. But this has got a lot of similar stuff in it. So you basically fly through these little procedurally generated worlds, shooting these enemies, and they will drop weapons and things that you can add onto your ship. So this here is called the Stinker. It will leave behind a poisonous trail, and you can add it to any of the connections that are available on your ship. So your ship starts off as this little cube. It's got 4 connections, 1 on each side. And you can either attach the part to one of the connections, you can store the part for later, which is really handy, and again a mechanic lifted straight out of Galaxy Trucker, or you can recycle the item and get some scrap for it. And the idea of the game is to scan these planets like so, and then you will find some items that will be dropped. So this planet here has dropped a beam, which basically gives you an increase in your maximum health in the bottom right hand corner, but also, as you might be able to tell, gives you 2 new connections, top and bottom now. And you can put these parts anywhere, so I can grab this again, I can move it, I can rotate it, as long as it's a valid connection, so connector to connector. I can basically put that wherever I want. And then the second part here is another body part. So again, you can add it wherever you want and build up your own sort of Frankenstein ship. And every run will be different. So it's really cool. So now my ship looks like this. Kind of a long body and a connection at the back. You start with this basic sort of lightning gun weapon. And these blue things here are crystals. You can see that in the bottom right hand corner. This is kind of, in a roguelike, this is kind of your persistent currency. Like after every run, obviously your ship gets destroyed and you start again from a single cube, but you keep any of the crystals that you obtained. And each part that you pick up is worth a certain amount of crystals at the end as well. So if this body, for example, if you look at the left hand side, if this body's still attached, at the end of my run I'll get 3 crystals. This beam here is worth 2 crystals. So once you've cleared the area of scanning planets and killing enemies, you then will get this walk point open up, and you just go through the walk point and move on to the next level and do the same again. So you'll be scanning the planets here, the randomly generated planets, anywhere between 1 and 3 planets in these early levels, and you'll be shooting these enemies, collecting the cargo and parts that drop, adding them to your ship or scrapping them. And obviously the bigger and better your ship gets, in theory, the further you should be able to progress through the game. These planets have a gravity as well, so sort of once you get in the gravitational pull of where those clouds are, you get sucked into the planet, which makes it a little bit harder to control, but cool. See, there's lots of enemies here now. I really need a better weapon than this. You get sort of lasers, guns, shotguns, rockets, and then some really random weapons like something that leaves behind a poisonous trail or freezes enemies. And because of the random nature of it, you never know what you're going to get. So obviously here I'm struggling a bit because there's a lot of enemies and I've not really got a good weapon at the moment. You can have 2 weapons as well, activated by ZLZR. You can swap between those, so you can have 2 different sorts of weapons. You could have rockets one side and an ice gun the other side, for example, and fire them differently. There is a cooldown on weapons. Some weapons also have ammunition that's limited, and you can pick up ammo crates from enemies to replenish that. See, the enemy there drops an engine. So while we've got a bit of pace, we're going to pick this up. So ideally here you want the engine at the back, otherwise it will thrust you around in circles. So what we're going to do first is grab this beam, move it around to the side. We'll grab the engine, we'll stick it at the back. So now we've got a better engine and we can move slightly faster. So that's a good upgrade. You haven't sort of gathered it's also a twin stick shooter, so right stick here rotates you around. ZR and ZL to fire depending on what weapon you've got set up. And left stick to move. Press A at any time to go into sort of the build mode. You can shift stuff around there. Scanning planets is done automatically once you're in the gravitational pull and this beam activates. So you just move around, get the planets again. See there, loads of enemies just spawned after I scanned the last planet. So you have to deal with all these enemies. Oh, there's an armor piece there dropped. But as I say, when I played, or when I saw the trailers to this, my first thought was Galaxy Trucker, which is very similar to this. You start off with a little ship and you pick up tiles, face down tiles. Once you pick one up, you have to add it to your ship or put it into storage, a bit like you do in this game. You've got like a storage area. And you just try and build up the best ship you can from the bits, and then go on a bit of an adventure, turn over a deck of cards and determine how far you can get. So we've got a rifle here, we can stick that on the side, and there you can see at the bottom now on ZR I've now got the rifle weapon, and ZL I've got the beam steel. But the rifle weapon's got that red ring around it. That is your ammunition, so it's limited, but as I say, the enemies will drop bullets, and you can change what weapon with the L and R buttons, so you can set them up in any configuration you want, which is cool. So let's go and see how this rifle takes care of these enemies over here. Now, also, just to note as well, this has got some really cool chilled out music that isn't the music that's playing at the moment. I think the music in the game is copyrighted from what I've seen in other videos, so I've muted the game and just put some copyright free music over the top. But the music in the game is really excellent. It's really like chilled out electronic music, so it's another good plus point for the game. We'll just do one more of these levels just so you can get a better idea, then we'll go back and have a look at some of the options that are available, some of the modes that are available in the game. This rifle is really powerful, but the limited ammo is its downside. Those red boxes there, those are ammo refills. I'll use my beam to deal with these little green ones because they're not too harmful. Oh, solar panel. The game doesn't pause while you go into build mode either, so you can still get attacked in build mode. So I like to clear the area first before I try and build anything, unless it's something that's vitally important. So the solar panel increases energy regeneration, which is really handy. We'll stick that maybe at the back here on this. Where's it gone? We'll stick this at the back here on this beam slot. Seems to work quite nicely. Get it out of the way. 2 more enemies left to clear, so we'll get rid of these and then I'll jump back to the main menu just to wrap this one up. But hopefully you're enjoying the gameplay and get a good idea of what this is all about. And as I say, with it being a roguelike, every run's going to be different. Get to the last planet there with a little flag in, and it's like a little shop, and you can buy an upgrade to fit your ship. If I get another rifle, you can fit one the other side as well and sort of dual fire, which is obviously a good thing. The difficulty ramps up quite high as well on the second level. There we go, get another rifle here. Let's just fit that. Yeah, second level is quite tricky already, and sort of from what I've read, people have struggled once they get past sort of the third or fourth level. It's 5 levels in all, 5 worlds in all. So you can see here we've now got a second rifle, and we're now got dual firing capability. Battery, I'm not sure what the battery does. Let's have a look at that. Battery, store more energy. So we're kind of running out of room. You can see like the attachments we're running out of. I want to put this. Ah, see, there's no room to put it on the connection to the left there because the gun's in the way. So I'm going to have to stick it at the front of the ship like that. So you can see sort of how Frankenstein the ship can build up. And you can end up with like massive, like floating Frankenstein ships. We'll go back to the main menu. We'll abandon that run and just show you some of the modes. So I wanted to show you the daily challenge. We'll look at it in a second. But we've got these options here. We've got your ship, and you can customize that with these crystals that you collect. So the blue crystals. So different colours here. So we've got Sweden. The developers are from Sweden. So that's why Sweden's in there with the blue and yellow flavouring. But you've got all these different sorts of colourings that you can apply to the ship, the skins, if you unlock them with the crystals that you collect. And then you've got these different models as well. The starting ship can look different as well. Again, quite a lot of crystals to unlock those. We've got 10 at the moment, and these are all 100. So you've got a little bit of customization there to spend your crystals on. In the hangar here, you can save a ship. When you finish one of your runs, you can save it to the hangar, just for prosperity. So this is the score it got. I think this is from a daily run mode, and you can go back and do it. Or am I just starting? Maybe I'm just starting. Oh, this is the daily run mode, so I've got limited oxygen. But this is a ship that I built in a daily run mode. So I've got a hammer at the front and this piercing spear. Ooh, got a sword there. This piercing spear is attached as well. So look at the sword. Stick that in one of the side pods here, but you can see here if it's at the side. So because it's at the side, it's swinging to the side when I activate it. Now I could grab the sword, put it to the front, grab the hammer, put it to the side, and then you can see I've got the sword facing forward and the hammer to the side. And you can see the physics there. When I hit the hammer, I get pushed across to that side. So really cool. You can just build the ship exactly how you want, as long as you've got the connections for it. So that's the hangar, and the last part of the game here is the, well, we've got two other things. We've got, in the normal mode, you've got normal and hard. We've got a swarm here, which is just an endless mode, and we've also got a daily challenge, which, as you'd expect, you can do once per day. And everybody is got the same level and the same drops and stuff. And you got this leaderboard, and you can see, which I think is a really, really cool touch. You can see what ships each person built in their runs, which I think is absolutely a brilliant idea. Look at the state of that one. It's got just connections everywhere. Now, the one thing this is lacking, I would say, is the ability to see your friends. I think they need to add that in, so I might suggest it to the developers to have sort of a worldwide, a local, and a friends list, for example. Because I know a couple of my friends have picked this up. But you can check the previous daily runs as well. Look at that ship, what a monstrosity. Really cool. So there you go, daily mode. I do like a game with daily mode. As I say, I just would prefer if it had a friends leaderboard in, just so you could really drill down and play with your friends. But there you go, really impressive. 2-man team. I think they were members of DICE, which is the EA studio that's based in Sweden. They went independent and built this game. Really cool, really nice guys as well. So that's Space Scavenger, out now on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's on PC as well. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, please. Really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. Leave me a comment below if you're going to be picking this up. And I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.